All right, so a little bit of prerequisite before we start this video. In this video later, I said that Logan Paul and Prime are suing Lionel Messi for their design of their new drink launch. And as I've looked into it, I'm actually not 100% sure if they have sued them yet, but they are talking about it. This is like, it was all over the internet that they were suing them. Now it looks like they're going to sue them, but I'm going to show you the designs and how similar they are, and then we can talk about it later. But when I say they have sued them, that was before I looked into it too much, so I'm putting a prerequisite. So just so you know, we're not really sure if they have actually filed a lawsuit yet. Just a prereq. Now let's get into the video. Prerequisite is the wrong word. It's disclaimer at the first. I don't know where prerequisite came from other than I'm just stupid. Now, also the last story I'm going to cover in this video is about Masvidal and Nate Diaz's brawl yesterday. I did a live stream about it, but there's something like it got age restricted, so I don't know who saw it. And also I figured something out very deep into that video, so I want to make sure that I put this out there. There's something very, very important that came out of that Masvidal and Nate Diaz brawl yesterday. So that'll be the last video, last story of this video. So make sure that you check that out because it is very notable as it relates to that fight. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we got big updates on the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. We gotta give credit where credit's due because man, MVP has done something very unexpected as far as I'm concerned. They actually hit their date for delivering a new date for the fight. I'll tell you everything that went into that, so on and so forth, all that. Then we got to talk about Conor because we got big updates on Conor McGregor. He put out new footage I'm going to show you. And I want to talk to you guys about some stuff that I heard behind the scenes about what's going on because I got a different story now that sounds very realistic to me, and it came from an incredibly reliable source. So that's what we're going to do. Welcome back. I apologize. I got to rush to this video. Probably not a lot of edits because I am late. But yeah, my family's been sick. By the way, if you watch my other channel, Play with Matches with me and Gabrielle, we've been off for a few days because Gabrielle has been sick. She has no voice. So I could like bring her up and like sit her on my lap like she's a prop and just do the video, but it seems kind of ridiculous. I think we'll probably be able to put up videos starting again tomorrow. But it's very unfortunate when your co-host loses their voice, but we'll be back. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. I appreciate you guys. It's amazing for the algorithm, and if you like this video, that's helpful as well. So let's do this thing. So Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are fighting on November 15th. Everything else is exactly the same. And so I guess I just want to start right now by saying congratulations to Most Valuable Promotions. Okay, look, like I have been accused of glazing for MVP because I've been so complimentary of their performance so far, but I think it's deserved. I really do, man. I think it's deserved. I think that MVP has an incredible track record of putting on good fights. The only event that I will say that Jake Paul put on that I had issue with, I'm actually not sure if MVP even did. So before I glaze the shit out of them in this video, I am going to say that the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight made me want to take my fingers and jam them directly through my eyeballs. That was insane. That event was a combat sports fan's nightmare. I couldn't deal, dude. I couldn't deal, okay? So just so we're clear, I am not some blind, oh my God, these guys here, let me milk it, MVP. Again, I'm not 100% sure that they promoted that fight, but Jesus. Sweetie. Oh, I'm going to watch Sweetie perform in between fights. Do you think, oh, cool, show me Justin Bieber, because that's what I came for. Like, I came here for violence. If you're going to throw Justin Bieber into a cage filled with lions so I can watch them tear him limb from limb, nothing against Bieber. I'm just saying I came for carnage, son. I did not come to watch Snoop Dogg smoke a blunt and then have everyone go, oh, damn, look at how cool the celebs are. Give me a break. Okay? I've admitted to you guys, one time I stole a fight. One time. And it was Logan and Mayweather, and it was because I was so mad about the Jake Paul and Ben Askren fight and how mind-numbing that experience was to watch it, just because of all the other nonsense that they did. But now, given Logan's past since then, I don't feel guilty about it anymore. So it is what it is. Now, that aside, right? Now look at their track record since then, right? Amazing job on every single event since then. They learned their lesson It's an early on thing. Never did that stupid music shit ever again. That was probably a lot to do with Triller too, to be honest. But you know, they've put on successful shows all the way through. You know, I think the decision to go away from a pay-per-view model is genius. However they sold this to Netflix is brilliant because it's going to make their numbers look amazing, right? So outside of just like, you know, book a very large stadium, book a really big fight between Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, promote it really well, get everybody talking about all this stuff, all of that stuff. They've already successfully put on the, you know, the Nate Diaz and Jake Paul fight most recently, which was amazing. And then they did these other couple ones in Puerto Rico where they weren't really trying to sell pay-per-views. They were just trying to show that Jake will starch tomato cans in the first round, which is exactly what he does. But this was the first time, in my opinion, that they faced real adversity. Like, this is real adversity. And it was almost crazy how it happened, you know, because I was like, I've talked so much about the brothers because, you know, there are just like certain topics like Logan and Jake, like it or not, are visible in combat sports. You know what I mean? I talk about combat sports and things that are related. And Logan has done a bunch of stuff that's really bothered me. You know, we don't need to re-go over it, right? By the way, did you hear he's going to sue Lionel Messi? Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that Logan Paul's suing Lionel Messi also because he's saying that his product is copying Prime? Now, I know as soon as I heard that, I would be like, well, show me. So let's just sidetrack real quick. There you go. So this is on the right is Lionel Messi's new drink, and on the left is Prime, obviously. Honestly, I have no idea how close a package has to be to get sued, but it clearly is a different font. The bottle itself, it looks like, is split into 5 sections on the messy one, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the same. That's pretty close. That is pretty close. But again, it's called Prime and it's called Moss. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough about like how, you know, like trademark design stuff works. So I'm just going to say that is happening. Okay. Like that's happening. Anyway, getting back to this though, this is Jake Paul's, you know, first, Jake Paul and MVP, Nikisa and all these guys. It was their first real test of their adaptability to a really challenging situation. And look at what they did. They set a very aggressive timeline. You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, that was a really aggressive timeline. That they're like, we will have a new date by June 7th. And they did that. They rebooked everything, all the venues, all the people that need to work it, all that stuff. They did it in a very short period of time. And that is incredibly impressive in my opinion. And I think they deserve credit for that. And I'm still very much looking forward to that fight. I hope Tyson's all right, dude. Because August, September, October, November, 4 months. So yeah. I mean, he should be good as long as he also doesn't take 3 full months. Because if it's 3 full months, you got to go, like if you go take July, August, September, then you have October, November. I mean, that's damn, man. I hope that does it, dude, because I heard a lot of people say it takes 3 months for an ulcer to cure. So, you know, and if Mike is really not training at all for those 3 months, then he's going to be starting from scratch. But he's got 2 months to grind. So we'll see. Anyway, that is what we've got for that story. Now let's move over to Conor McGregor. All right, so we have new footage from Conor McGregor. We got new stories of what was going on, and I'll tell you exactly what Chael said. But I wanted to show you guys this first because Islam Makhachev, he wants Conor. He wants Conor. If Conor wins, let's watch.
Islam Makhachev reveals plans for his next title defense. During a recent interview with Russian outlet Usha Taika, Makhachev said that if he had the choice, he'd pick a fight against Conor McGregor over Arman Tsarukyan. However, he doesn't believe that Conor McGregor will return to action anytime soon.
Если выбирать между Макгрегором и Арманом Царукяном, с кем бы ты выбрал бой?
Ну, если быть честным, если выбирать, конечно, в плане, в медийном плане, во всех планах, Макгрегор был бы поинтереснее. Но я не думаю, что даже его следующий бой состоится, потому что мы видели недавнее видео там, и вот недавно пресс-конференция у них отменилась. Не думаю, что он сможет выйти вообще на бой.
А если все-таки сможет?
Если сможет, думаю, тоже. Ну, мое мнение, что Чендлер выиграет, потому что он более сфокусирован, тренируется, более голоден, наверное, тоже.
I mean, listen, dude. Listen. I don't want to say anything until we see Conor fight. Bottom line. I mean, that's, you know, if Conor goes out there, he looks amazing, does something absolutely incredible. I don't necessarily think that Chandler is a good representation of what it would be like to fight Islam. I think he's actually basically the exact polar opposite of what Islam is, aside from his ability to take the fight to the ground. I just don't anticipate him to actually do that, right? Because Islam, as we've discussed, his baseline, he makes himself damn near impossible to hit, right? Like impossible to hit. And then he strikes from a position of bulletproof defense, okay? And then he can take your fight to the ground, and then it's a nightmare. Chandler is absolutely reckless. Like, reckless in the most exciting way possible. He's going to go out there, and he's going to just absolutely bang, 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 bang. And Conor, listen, dude, at 155 does not have that death touch like he does at 45. You know, if this was a 145-pound fight and you got old school Conor, I would say I would have just literally, like, someone who's going to fight like Chandler, I'd be like, bet your house on Conor. Just because death touch. 55 is not the case, dude. At 55, he hit Alvarez a million times. He was just completely outclassed Eddie Alvarez. But again, that's a different time. You know, you're talking almost 10 years ago now, right? Almost 10 years ago. So we'll see. I'm excited to see, you know, what happens next. But now let's look at Conor's footage. All right, I just talked for like 10 minutes, so let me actually insert the footage, and then I will tell you all the stuff about what Chael said, me talking to Chandler Moore, so on and so forth. Let's watch this.
McGregor posts new training footage. McGregor has released a new training clip amid the drama of his UFC 303 bout against Michael Chandler being in jeopardy.
See, this, I am obviously, I am obviously in no position to talk to Conor or any other professional about their training methods. I just want to say I am a firm believer in what Conor was just doing with that guy where they were moving slow. You know, he's intentionally throwing punches very, very slow so that Conor can counter and move smoothly through it. I don't think like a lot of people don't do that, dude. You know, they go in and just bang. And look, like if they're at the professional level, then you know, what works for them works for them. I'm in no position to argue. But like again, I really think that going through motions slowly that you're going to do fast later it's just common sense to me, because it's like you do everything, you know, like you don't go out and try to do something 100% the first time you do it. You do it like cautiously until you feel like you got it. Then you speed up. Why would that be any different? Like sequences that you're going to do in the cage, you know what I mean? Or grappling or striking or whatever. All right. So this is all the drama. I'm leaving my training camp and going home. That was Chandler. That's not really what he said. He said he was going to Tennessee. No news yet, but we're optimistic the fight's happening. Power Slap has more followers than every professional. Oh, okay. That's like, oh, these are memes. Okay. All right, so let me tell you guys a little bit more about what I heard that day, the conversation I had with like Chael and some other guys. And I want to say this, like, in terms of the status of the fight, everyone is saying it's going to go forward. And here's exactly what Chael said to me when this first started. Okay, like, so the first day that it happened, I will literally read you an identical or verbatim, right? So he said, so in the middle of all the chaos that first day, I said, if you had to bet does a fight happen? He said, definitely. I would bet as much as they would let me put down. Well, I don't mean that. I'd bet 50 grand. And I'm not a 50 grand guy at all. And so I'm like, man, that's really confident. And then, so as more news came out, you know, like then, like this was in the middle of the day, that first day. And so anytime something that looked bad came out, I would text it to him and just be like, what do you think? And he just never wavered at all. He said he was bulletproof that the fight was going to happen all along. I don't know. I haven't watched on his channel what he was saying, But behind the scenes, he was certain that this fight was going to happen, and it turns out that he's almost certainly going to be right. Now, one thing that I heard yesterday, very interesting, is that Conor was banged up enough with his leg that the reason they canceled the presser is they didn't want anyone to see Conor limping around. Like, because it was actually like he was banged up enough to where he was going to have to limp, and they didn't want anyone to see him limping. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, just call it off. Who knows if that's true? I mean, like, this is a credible source, but even he was like, I mean, this is just another thing that I heard through the grapevine. You know what I thought was really funny though? Sometimes like the comments, I mean, like people love talking shit in the comments, obviously, but, and you know, the only, basically if I respond to a comment, like a negative one, it's like complete like roulette where I've just logged in to see what my views are and I go look. And so the most recent comments, you know, will show up the like most recent 3. And every once in a while I'll see one and they'll be like, this guy is the most annoying person on earth. And I'm like, oh, and I'll just respond. I'll be like, well, you should probably go find a better channel. One that's a little bit more LGBTQIA plus friendly seems like a better fit for you. And, you know, I'll send it off. Or someone's like, oh my God, can you imagine if this guy, you know, if this dude and this dude would have blah, 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 and I'll just respond. But the one that I see that's hilarious is it's like someone was like, talk to Chandler, LOL. And I'm like, dude, just search Jesse on Fire Michael Chandler and you'll see him on my channel. Like I just like that kind of stuff. I just don't even understand. It's like, why would I make that up? Like I'm doing a video that's going to get 20 to 60,000 views. Like obviously if I was just making shit up about talking to people, they would see me make that up and then they would do their own thing and they would be like, I don't fucking know that guy. I don't know why he's pretending to have talked to me. Like that's just fucking weird, you know? That's a weird accusation to make. All right, so last up, I just want to say this about the Masvidal and Nate Diaz brawl. You know, like we can look at you know, like Nate Diaz immediately following the brawl. I mean, we could show that stuff, but it's kind of like, who cares? You know, the bottom line is this, right? I showed every angle of that fight in my video yesterday. But what's important to note is that the person who got punched in the head over and over and over, who kind of got jumped by 4 different dudes on Nate Diaz's team, is George Masvidal's coach. That was Masvidal's coach, the same coach that Colby Covington stiffed, you know, that he was supposed to pay $5K to, didn't pay the money to, whatever, and then it turned into this huge thing, which then destroyed their relationship, all right? You know, assuming all of it is true, that's what happened. So George Masvidal literally ended his friendship with his best friend over this guy. And yesterday, Nate Diaz and 4 of his boys all put hands on him. He did really well. Don't get me wrong, dude. George Masvidal's coach for like he's probably 58 years old or something, you know? And he's up against Killshot. He's up against like literal professional fighters. And they lit him up and he just ate it. You know, he had a knot on his head, but he swung first and landed. He's a gangster, dude. I don't know, dude. Again, like I don't want to rehash everything I said in my video yesterday, but in case you guys can't watch it because it's age restricted, here's all I'll say, dude. Nate Diaz rolls with an ill-ass crew, dude. If you want to fight, they're down to fight. Bottom line. They are down to fight. And also, if you like want to hang out with Nate on a weekend, you better be down to fight. Because his crew is down to fight. They're super cool. Everybody knows that. Like anybody who's ever hung out with them in person, and I actually have never gone out with all of them out at night or whatever. I know a lot of them, but I've never gone out with them at night. And everybody always comments about, they're like, Nate's the coolest dude in the world. He's the nicest motherfucker in the world. But, you know, listen, dude, if someone's like, hey, fuck you, Nate, they're going to roll them. They don't give a fuck, man. They're like my crew when I was like 19 or 20 years old. They just don't give a fuck, man. They're looking to get down, which is hilarious because all of them are so dangerous. They're like me and my crew, except 100 times more dangerous in the street, you know? Anyway, that's what I got for today. That is, you know, what we got. And thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go get my ass kicked by some world-class jiu-jitsu guys. Bye-bye. Wait, that was a lie. I'm not. I'm wearing a rash guard, but I can only drill because of this. Yeah, boy. That's that new shit. I got that done yesterday. And so I can't roll hard because it'll fuck the tattoo up. But yeah. I'm very happy with that tattoo. My legs are about to get done, son. That's my first tattoo on my lower legs. I'm going to do them all up, man. I'm about to sleeve these bitches up. All right. Love you guys. Bye.